responsible and inclusive business is an important element of the partnership between Belgium and Cambodia. You know that partnership develops along two pillars. We have the Belgian Development Cooperation Agency, which has a nice program, an interesting program negotiated with the Cambodian authorities. It covers about 20 million euros on 5 years between 2017 to 2021. And the Belgian cooperation is working with international NGOs like Oxfam, for instance, and local NGOs, Khmer NGOs, and Belgian universities. And responsible and inclusive business is an extremely important part of that program. It's an important part of the work of Oxfam as well. The other pillar of our partnership with Cambodia comes from our Belgian investment bank for developing countries called BIO. And they do invest money or lend money to small Cambodian private sector companies who are too big to take money from microfinance, but still too small to draw money from local banks or the stock exchange. And of course, in all those operations, we are very careful that inclusive and responsible business is an important part of those businesses, of those projects. It's also important for us in Belgium, and I think for you in Cambodia, to stress that inclusive business, responsible business, is a shared responsibility. It's not a given by anybody. It's a responsibility from government, central government, local governments. It is, of course, a responsibility of the private sector, the business sector. It's a responsibility for civil society practitioners, for trade unionists. And above all, it is a responsibility for citizens. And I think that in Cambodia, like in Belgium and in Western Europe, citizens, consumers, are more and more attentive to make sure that the products or the service they buy have been produced by companies which respect the rules of inclusive and responsible business. In this region, we had recently an interesting example of that, the power of consumers, the power of private citizens to promote inclusive and responsible business. You know that the European Commission, the government of the European Union, has lifted in January, a few months ago, the yellow card that it had given to Thailand for the bad situation in the fisheries sector in Thailand. There are about 60,000 people, fishermen working in the fisheries sector in Thailand. 90% of those fishermen come from Cambodia or Myanmar. And working as a fisherman on a ship is one of the most dangerous and arduous work on earth. The situation was not good. There was a lot of exploitation. There was also a lot of unsustainable exploitation of the oceans. And so the dialogue with international organizations like Greenpeace or Oxfam, the dialogue with the UN system, ILO, some pressure from international groups of civil society practitioners in Thailand or in the world, have convinced the Thai government to move forward. And Thailand has taken very serious measures to improve the situation. And Taiwan is now a leader within ASEAN for responsible and inclusive practices in the fisheries sector. But the key element, I think, has been the behavior of consumers of Thai fish, Thai tuna fish especially. Europe buys about 30% of the production of Thailand, and consumers in Europe didn't want to buy any more fish that was produced in those conditions. So that has been a key argument to convince the private sector in Thailand, those dynamic Thai companies who produce the fish, to develop more inclusive and more responsible practices. And what is true for Thailand is, of course, true in Europe and is true in Cambodia as well.